The diner's greasy aroma usually grounded Elias. Today it felt like a sickly perfume clinging to a deepening unease. Silas sat opposite him, a frail figure shrouded in the booth's shadows, his eyes reflecting the rain lashing against the window. "He came to me," Silas murmured, his voice raspy. "The caretaker, demanding my interference cease." "What did you do?" Elias asked, the tremors in his hands making the coffee slosh over the rim of the cup. He felt wrong, like a melody played just slightly off-key, a dissonance he couldn't quite place. Silas sighed, the sound like dry leaves skittering across pavement. "I tried to reason, to explain that Blackwood's ambition was a disease, that the harmony it's a prison, a terrible violation, and he didn't listen. The caretaker believes in Alistair's vision. He sees the harmony as perfection, a world purged of imperfection, suffering, and free will, a stagnant paradise." Silas's gaze sharpened, a flicker of defiance in his eyes. "He intends to restore it." The memory slammed into Elias, the feeling of being pulled, twisted, the kaleidoscopic landscape of fractured identities, the fragmented woman's pleading voice. "He wants to amplify the signal," she had whispered, a chorus of voices lay beneath her own, "to bind more souls." "And you told him no?" Elias pressed, the feeling of wrongness intensifying. He could almost feel the subtle pull of the harmony, a magnetic force drawing him towards an unseen center. "I told him I would not facilitate his actions." Silas paused, then added, "He's not a man easily dissuaded, Elias. He believes he is carrying out the will of a genius, a martyr for a lost cause." Suddenly, the diner door swung open, and a figure stood silhouetted against the rain. Tall, gaunt, impeccably dressed, the caretaker, his eyes fixed on Elias, cold and unwavering. "Mr. Silas," the caretaker's voice resonated, a low rumble that seemed to vibrate through the diner's foundations. "I trust we haven't been disturbing our friend." Silas's posture stiffened. "The caretaker, I was about to leave. I believe there are matters that require clarification," the caretaker said, his gaze never leaving Elias. He took a measured step forward. "Mr. Thorne has a unique connection to Alistair's work. He deserves to understand the full scope of our endeavour." The air thickened, crackling with an unspoken tension. Elias felt a wave of dizziness wash over him, a feeling of being scrutinized, dissected. He saw his reflection in the diner's window, distorted, unfamiliar. Was that truly him, or a warped imitation? "I don't understand what you've been talking about," Elias stammered, his voice betraying his fear. The caretaker smiled, a cruel twist of his lips. "You will, soon enough." He extended a hand towards Elias, his fingers long and bony. "Come with me, Mr. Thorne. Let me enlighten you." Silas intercepted the move, placing a protective hand on Elias's arm. "He's with me. There's nothing for him where you're going." "You're obstructing progress, Silas. A sentimental indulgence that serves no purpose." The caretaker's voice hardened. He moved swiftly, a blur of motion, knocking Silas back into his seat. Elias, propelled by a surge of adrenaline, bolted towards the exit, ignoring the caretaker's frustrated growl. He leaped into the Packard car parked outside, fumbling with the keys. The engine sputtered to life, the rain hammering against the windshield. He tore away from the diner, glancing in the rearview mirror. The caretaker stood motionless in the rain, his face a mask of chilling calm. "He's going to follow," a voice whispered from the passenger seat. Elias whirled around. The fragmented woman sat beside him, her form flickering, her eyes filled with a desperate plea. "He wants to control the music box, to unleash the harmony's full potential." "Who are you?" Elias demanded, his voice trembling. "It doesn't matter. What matters is stopping him." She reached out, a hand phasing through his arm. "You have a power, Elias, a resonance with the harmony. You can disrupt the signal." "How?" "Focus on the dissonance, the wrongness, amplify it, disrupt the harmony." He gripped the steering wheel, the rain blurring the road ahead. The Packard swerved wildly as he navigated the winding roads leading back towards the Blackwood Estate. The music box locked away in the chamber beneath the estate pulsed with an unseen energy calling to him. He could almost hear its mournful melody, a siren song leading him towards oblivion. Suddenly the Packard lurched violently, throwing Elias against the dashboard. He looked up to see the caretaker's face pressed against the windshield, his eyes burning with an unsettling intensity. "You can't escape your destiny, Mr. Thorne," the caretaker hissed, his voice distorted by the rain. He vanished as quickly as he had appeared, leaving Elias disoriented and shaken. He pressed his foot on the accelerator, driving the Packard with reckless abandon, desperate to escape the encroaching darkness. As he approached the Blackwood Estate, the air grew thick with an unnatural stillness. A mansion loomed before him, its windows like empty eyes staring out into the storm. He knew he couldn't outrun his fate. He had to confront it. He parked the Packard near the overgrown conservatory, the rain plastering his hair to his forehead. He took a deep breath, steeling himself for the confrontation ahead. He entered the conservatory, the scent of decaying flowers heavy in the air. He walked towards the secret passage leading to the chamber beneath the estate, the fermented woman's words echoing in his mind. Focus on the dissonance. Amplify it. **. He descended into the chamber, the darkness pressing in on him. He saw the music box resting on a pedestal in the center of the room, pulsating with an eerie light. He closed his eyes, focusing on the feeling of wrongness, the dissonance that resonated within him. He reached out, his hand trembling as he touched the music box. A wave of energy surged through him, threatening to overwhelm him. He focused his will, amplifying the dissonance, disrupting the harmony. The music box shuddered violently, its melody twisting into a cacophony of discordant notes. The chamber began to shake, the walls cracking and crumbling. The caretaker appeared, his face contorted with rage. "You fool! They're destroying everything!" "I'm freeing it," Elias countered, his voice gaining strength. He amplified the dissonance, pushing the music box to its breaking point. The music box shattered into a million pieces, the chamber collapsing around them. Elias felt himself falling, plunging into a vortex of swirling energy. He woke up disoriented, lying on the floor of the conservatory. The rain had stopped, and a sliver of moonlight illuminated the shattered remains of the music box. The fragmented woman stood beside him, her form solidifying. "You did it," she whispered, a hint of hope in her voice. "You disrupted the signal." But even as she spoke, Elias knew that the battle was far from over. The harmony still existed, lurking in the shadows, waiting for another opportunity to break free. He knew he would have to remain vigilant, to protect the world from the darkness that threatened to consume it.